Meantime, you have probably heard that a lot of tech executives are trying to cozy up to one Donald J. Trump, including Mark Zuckerberg of Meta, i.e. Facebook fame. He says that he wants to have a very active role going forward in Donald Trump's tech policy making. I don't know what my next guest thinks of that. Brendan Carr has been very critical of a lot of these tech companies, including Meta, including Mr. Zuckerberg. Brendan, in case you didn't hear, is Donald Trump's choice to chair the FCC. Kind enough to join us. Commissioner, Chairman to be, congratulations. What do you think of that, that he wants a seat at that table, an influential seat at that, Mark Zuckerberg? Should he have it?
You know, the most important thing to me going forward, whether it's Meta or other technology companies, is their actions, not their words. It's nice that they want to play ball. It's nice that they want to be part of the solution. I hope that's true. But there's no sort of cosmetic change or words that's ultimately going to throw me off the scent. There's a lot we can do at the FCC that I plan on doing. There's a lot the Federal Trade Commission can do as well. And Congress, now that we have both houses of Congress in Republicans' hands, a lot of the tech issues are bipartisan, to be clear. But when it comes to cracking down on censorship, it has been Republicans that have shown more leadership and interest there. So I think across the agencies, across Congress, we need to work together to, frankly, smash the censorship cartel and restore free speech in the country, because it's actually a straight line from there to economic growth as well.
You know, I was talking ahead of this interview, Commissioner, with someone who said, and he was very complimentary of you, well, there's a whole new sheriff in town. He wasn't referring to Donald J. Trump. He was referring to you heading the FCC, particularly your comments about smashing the censorship cartel. I assume you were talking about the big social media tech players.
Yeah, there's a lot we can do with the FCC. You know, one is Section 230 is part of the Communications Act. We can take a look at that because, frankly, courts have added immunities into the provisions that are found nowhere in the law passed by Congress. We can impose transparency obligations through existing FCC laws. And we can also take a look at working with the Federal Trade Commission. Commissioner Ferguson there had a statement recently that said, look, if social media companies are colluding to not compete on speech regulation, that's really no different than an agreement not to compete on pricing or another sort of traditional competition metric, and they should be looked at that. And it's not just social media. The Biden administration leaned on a lot of these entities to censor. There's also advertisers and marketing companies. I've been looking at them, including NewsGuard, that are part of this broader censorship cartel. We've got to smash it.
But, Commissioner, who runs the show? You're competing, not competing, but you have to work with the FTC, to your point, the Federal Trade Commission, the Justice Department separately. So could there be some butting heads in the offing here?
I don't think so. I mean, look, all of this flows ultimately from President Trump. You know, he had the foresight on this issue before a lot of other people speaking out in favor of free speech. It's his agenda at the end of the day. It's his cabinet picks. It's his administration. It's his policies. And I think you're going to see a lot of unity, not just on this tech censorship, but on economic growth in general. There's a lot of parallels right now with 24 to 2016 in my sector. Things flatlined in 16. Spectrum, infrastructure weren't going anywhere. We revitalized it. Unfortunately, we flatlined again the last couple of years. And President Trump's policies have turned the economy around once before. They're going to do it again. It's going to be a really good run for the economy here.
You know, Commissioner, you didn't write the Project 25 planning document, but you did write on the FCC in that document and the role it should play, in which you argued that it should regulate the highest and the largest tech companies. So you still stand by that part of it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what I wrote in that particular portion is, you know, nothing unique to that document. It's part and parcel of what I've been saying all along. Americans have been living through an unprecedented surge in censorship the last couple of years. We need to return to free speech, diversity of opinions. Does it mean that everybody has to see speech they don't like? No, not at all. My view is let's empower individual users that are participating in these digital town squares. You can mute people, you can block people, but let's put those decisions back in the hands of everyday Americans and not have them centralized in Silicon Valley.
All right, I think we're in for a very interesting period here. Commissioner, great seeing you. Congratulations again.